What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast summer edition, where everything's made up and the sports don't matter. Still, how you doing, buddy?
I
Is
am
that
doing.
copyright? Am I allowed to say that?
Who gives a fuck? Nobody listens to this.
True.
I'm doing great, bro. Like you said, everything's made up. Uh, Sports don't matter, which means one, the Jaguars are undefeated.
Yes, sir.
The Cavs are in the same route as everybody else right now, the championship, undefeated. And yeah, Kyrie doesn't seem to know where the fuck he wants to go and keeps being a clown. So I'm loving this shit. He wasn't comfortable, was about to go to the Lakers, and then all of a sudden picked up his option 30 minutes later after he said that he was interested in going to the Lakers.
Well, I think somebody told him, bro, you really want to take a $6 million deal instead of picking up this $40 million option that you can take? And he's like, oh, shit, you're right.
Yeah,
Let me
it's
try to
been
get a
great.
trade.
The draft was awesome. We didn't pick up buddy I wanted to pick up, but we picked up people for the positions that we needed. We didn't go out and go guard heavy. We didn't go big man heavy. We pretty much went small forward heavy.
Well, Agbaji is like, he played a big man in college, but I mean, I guess we'll talk about it a little later, but he's not big. He's like a small, big man.
Yeah, we got a lot of threes, a lot of fours, and I'm excited about it. I think we ended up with 3 or 4 picks in the draft, and I'm excited. It's like the 14th pick, you're not going to off rip, you're not going to have anybody that's going to wow you. But a lot every year we always have these guys who come out of nowhere between 14 and 28. Really, DeJounte Murray, 28th a couple years ago to the Spurs. Everybody passed on him, and now he's going to
All-star.
do insanely great things for Atlanta, and which is awesome. We can talk about that too a little bit later. The Spurs just don't want to be good anymore. They're forcing Pop into retirement, I think. It's insane. He says he gave his blessing on the trade, but they're stacking up on picks and keeps that every couple years.
We know this man don't want to rebuild.
Yeah, that's every couple years now they're finding players to stack up on picks, and they're always the Spurs aren't bad. They're literally 2-3 pieces away from being a contender, and they took their main piece and gave it away for 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, and like, let's go ahead and get into a little bit because it's not even really what we were going to talk about. But I really thought, and they still could be, but I thought they were a number one contender for the Deandre Ayton sweepstakes.
Same.
And now they're just not going to be. I mean, if they do it now, because they still could, then it's stupid because they gave up their best piece. Because I thought literally they were right there about to make the play-in tournament and turn tail on purpose, it looked like, because they didn't want to make the play-in tournament. So then if they would have matched up Ayton with Murray, they would have easily made the playoffs.
Yeah.
It would have been maybe a play-in game, but like they could have won a play-in game and gotten in the playoffs. But I guess whatever heads at the table didn't want that to be the case. And again, they still might go get Ayton and try to build around him, but they've chosen the rebuild route instead of the be a 6 seed and not win the championship route, which, I mean, there's something to be said about that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, in today's NBA, it's so top heavy. It's going to be hard if you're not one of those championship driven teams that have already been there, like the Warriors last year, who nobody really gave them the time of day, honestly, because it's so top heavy. The year before that, they had one of the first picks in the draft. I think it was the first pick in the draft.
Second
pick in the draft. Yeah. And for them to come back, and it's such a give or take league, and they literally have 3 guys who have been there before and reminded everybody that's literally what it takes. As long as you've been there before and you can buckle down under pressure and, get a fucking previous first overall pick and Andrew Wiggins to show up and show out and average over, like, what did he average? 25 and 5 for the whole series, which is incredible for somebody that's not your big 3 to do. You need stuff like that to happen. And for that, what is Jakob Porto still on that team? Like, is he going to be the third, fourth guy to do something? Oh, no,
he's on like the Raptors now, or the Hornets or some shit. Yeah,
some stupid ass team. But
Aldridge is still on their team. No, he went to the Nets.
No,
right?
He's on the Nets. He retired and came back last year.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't have anybody.
So, like, that, I can understand it at the end of the day, because if you get Ayton, like, you're still 2 or 3 guys away from being able to get there, and only Ayton's been there. and we saw what he did in the whole season afterwards, going right back to his regular season ways, and even in the playoffs, right back to his regular season's way. There was no finals Aiton anywhere to be found after the finals last year, which was very sad because we were both very hyped on what we saw in the playoffs and in the finals. And yeah, there was no, I can see at the end of the day, if they took a plan to Pop and was like, this is what we have, this is what we want to go for. He was like, yeah, fuck that. Just go get draft picks. I'm old. I'm not. That's too much work, dude. Fuck that. Because he said he gave his blessing on it. So he probably saw what the roster they wanted to try to get for next year. And he was like, yeah, let's just rebuild.
He's going to go be an assistant coach for the Las Vegas Aces and tell Becky Hammond, yo, you do your thing. I'm just going to be here on the player development on the sideline.
That'd be dope.
Yo, he might do that, though. If it happens, you heard it here first, because I haven't heard it anywhere.
That'd be, I mean, his kids are grown. His wife has passed. Yeah. He's literally,
And Becky Hammond was like his project, his person, the girl he brought up and coached alongside. Everybody has that one coach that they like. Josh McDaniels is to Bill Belichick. Like that was Becky Hammond to Pop. So if he can go help her out in any capacity, it would be like Larry Brown helping out like SMU or whoever he was helping out, just to say like, listen, I just don't want to be fully retired, but I'm done being the coach. That would be super cool. And they're already the best team in the league right now for WNBA. So
that would be really, really, really dope. I mean, and while we're touched on the WNBA, shout out to Candace Parker, just continuing to break records. Most 1,500 assists, and then most triple doubles. I think she now has like 3 or 4. Which is crazy. And people laugh. The people that laughed and commented stupid on that are absolutely insane. Like the WNBA, the reason it's so boring is because literally in the NBA, from like the 6th person to the 13th person are relatively close, but the 6th and 8th person are way closer than the 9th is to the 5th and 1st person.
Right.
There's gaps on every single team. In the WNBA, besides about 10, 15 players, everybody everybody is like right in the same little gap with each other, and these women are talented as fuck. And
the product is getting better. There's already been 4 triple doubles this year, which is by far the most. I think before that there were like 7 in the history of the league. So they're really doing work.
They're talented as fuck, and the talent keeps coming. And we all see like the women's college basketball has gotten a lot more exciting in the last couple years, and a lot of these girls are ending up in the WNBA. And like you said, we're getting more and more triple doubles, more girls dunking, more girls shooting from farther out, all these crazy moves all these girls are starting to do. And then we still have old Candace Parker just coming out and reminding them she's still the best. Like, it's been awesome to see what she's still able to do. And like, I think she has 4. I think 4 was the number. But it's really hard I need to start looking up here more instead of looking at you. But it's really hard it's really, really, really hard to do. And for her to be able to do it, in 2 different decades, that's insane. That's really awesome.
Yeah, and this is a cool season too, because Parker's doing really well.
If we're hearing about Candace Parker, this girl in Tennessee going ape shit, she would go nuts right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Today's WNBA.
I mean, it's funny because when Candace Parker was doing work, all they cared about was Pat Summitt. They were like, "Oh, it's Pat Summitt doing awesome," which Pat Summitt was awesome. But yeah, that's crazy. It would have been hyped all for Candace, but like it's cool because you get to see Candace Parker, who I don't know if she's on a retirement tour or not, but she's still doing stuff at an old age. Sue Bird is officially on her retirement tour, and she is still doing things. Did you see that overtime game winner she hit?
Yeah.
Like she's still stepping up and doing things. Diana Taurasi is going to be on her way out soon enough. And then, of course, we still have the Brittany Griner saga, which shout out to the WNBA. They made her the honorary first pick of the All-Star team. So she was the #1 All-Star before anybody else got picked.
But real quick, though, if I went overseas and I tried to take my little thing with me and I got caught up and I'm over there for a couple months, are either of our jobs going to put us honorary employee of the month? They're not going to give two
Your job
shits
would
about
fire
us.
you before they even knew where you actually were.
Sure, but like they're not going to like they're not going to give two shits about us. So it is really, really incredible that the WNBA did that.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And I don't think people really understand, like, yeah, it is something petty. Like, she should have known better, all this stuff. But at the end of the day, she's in prison and it's hell. And for the WNBA to try to lift her spirits any way they can, knowing that that will get back to her, was
Yeah.
really cool. Because I mean, at the end, I don't want the giver of murder or whatever the fuck his name is to be swapped for her. I'd rather that not happen.
Right, for real.
But she's still in there. She's now awaiting sentencing.
She's about to have
apparently.
trial start.
Yeah.
Luckily, in a couple of days now.
So I mean, it's
she's been there
it
like 6
sucks.
months and hasn't even gotten a fucking trial.
Yeah. So that's about to happen. So it's either going to go really good or really bad for her. So I can appreciate the WNBA coming through and trying to lift her spirits up a little bit, because I mean, most jobs in America wouldn't give two shits about that. They'd be like, well, shouldn't have taken weed to another country.
And I mean, it's weird because we don't know shit about foreign affairs. We don't know shit about any of that stuff. We are just dumb video gaming, sports playing idiots. Yeah. But apparently there's some word out now that they think that Russia might have planted the hash oil in the first place, just because they knew she was high profile. And so they wanted to try to get a bargaining chip during all this shit.
That would just be dumb.
I mean, if it gets them their murder guy back, then I guess it's worth it, right?
I guess.
But yeah, so we don't know shit about that, so we're not going to keep talking about it. But I saw a headline and I was like, oh shit, if that's true, that would suck. I mean, it sucks like either way.
Shit we would see in Call of Duty. They seized the celebrity friendships.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so before we move on to this week, because we do want to let people know that we do watch sports, we do understand. So shout out to Golden State, which I think we talked about, but shout out to Colorado as well. The hockey championship is now over. Eddie was right. Colorado was the best team. Tampa Bay made it real interesting, though. They won the game that we thought that they were going to lose, game 5, and came back home and then ended up losing in Tampa Bay. So the three-peat doesn't exist. Detroit and Pittsburgh still remain as the last three-peats in hockey. So that's pretty cool. But just shout out to them. Like good on them. Kel McCarr got the whatever the hell they call the playoff MVP in hockey, Conn Smythe or whatever it is. And so that's pretty cool. And of course the Steph and all that, which we talked about. But before we move on, there's not sports that were played, but I do want to tell you my story. We'll do our rec stuff at the end because we don't want to bore you guys with stupidity, because I had a bye week. Seal finally got his jerseys. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see.
But I'm just gonna be shit talking my team the whole time.
So we'll wait till the end for that. But
I'm kidding, not my whole team. I love my team.
I wanted to tell you, Seal hasn't heard this either. So this is my story, right? So the day after Colorado wins the cup, I was really, really kind of depressed, right? I was like, fuck, man. Like, I do like baseball. I enjoy baseball, but it's that middle of summer. Like, as a Dodgers fan, first world problems, I get it. But we don't have to worry about the middle of June. It doesn't matter to us because we're going to make the playoffs. And if we don't, then there's major problems. So it's just one of those things. And their game was on ESPN against the Braves. And I was like, oh, cool. You know, like it's Sunday night. I'll watch against the Braves. Like, that's pretty cool that they're on TV right when all other sports end. So I click in and it's 2-0 Braves. And I'm like, fuck, man. It's like the bottom of the 8th or whatever. So the top of the 9th rolls around. Here comes Kenley Jansen. He doesn't play California Love anymore, but here comes Kenley Jansen. I was like, oh shit. I'm going to watch Kenley Jansen blow this shit against my team. This is awesome. Comes out there, gets 2 outs, 2 strikes, bam, bam, base hit after base hit after base hit. He blows the save. And I was like, this is what everybody against the Dodgers felt this entire time for 13 years or however long Kenley's been around. So I was like, this is cool. I get to sit on the other end of this. So I was very excited that the first baseball game, this was literally the first baseball game I watched of this season. I got to watch Kenley Jansen blow a save, and it was against my team. So it was pretty exciting to watch, actually. But now I'm back in I don't care about baseball until September, October.
Yeah, that is really dope. And you got to figure that's going to happen eventually. You guys played them pretty often in the Braves, more than most teams.
Yeah.
Because they're in the NL too. Duh. But you guys played them like 6-7 times. Or how many games is it? 10 games? I think.
It's like 3 series. So yeah,
I
either
think it
like
comes out
9
to
or
10
10,
games.
depending how. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, so you play him a fair bit, so you know this was going to come about this year after you decided to go to Atlanta, and it's absolutely amazing. The only thing that does suck to come from this series is we all knew Freddie Freeman did not want to leave Atlanta. He looked pretty sad when he's on the bench. It seems like he's by himself a little bit still. It was like that apparent at the beginning of the season, still a little bit not too sure what he's going to do with his teammates. Excuse me, good gracious. But found out this weekend playing the Braves that they're like, yo, dude, why didn't you hit us back, man? We tried to give you a 5-year, 400, whatever the offer was. He's like, what? No, y'all gave me a 5-year, blah, 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 blah. They're like, no, we sent you another offer. So he called his agent, or this is me. This
interpreting it. Yeah.
So he calls his agent. He's like, yo, what the fuck? The Braves sent another offer after the Dodgers sent their offer. They sent another. You're fired, bro. This is ridiculous. I don't want to be here. I'm here for 5 years. I could have finished my career in Atlanta like I wanted to. Oh, sorry, I keep looking at you. I could have finished my career like I wanted to. This is absolutely ridiculous. What's going on? You're fired. Click. Bye. Bing. Boom. So that happened over the weekend. So now we're finding out that it's because dude did not tell him. It was probably less money than the Dodgers. That's the only reason we would think that he wouldn't tell him, because we all know about the compensation these agents get off of these contracts. So that's insane. For one, it's a big name agency that the agent works for. So he's probably going to be ripped right off. Nobody's going to go to him anymore. And it's got to be a gut punch for Freddie hearing that, knowing the love he had for Atlanta after getting the chip with them and not being able to stay because he didn't think he was getting the money that he deserved, and they probably finally gave him an offer. Because if he found out that it wasn't anything remotely close that he would have signed, he probably been like, all right, whatever. But yeah, I'd be pissed off if it was something I definitely would have signed and me and my agent talked about. I would have signed.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be pissed off anyway, as long as you like set a bar. Like he might have been like, never, don't call me if it's less than X. So if it's less than X, then I get it. But if it's more than that, I don't even care if it's a number that's half of what the Dodgers said. As long as it was more than whatever the fuck I told you not to call me about, you better call me. And like clearly, since he was upset and fired them, that there was some miscommunication there. But I hope that Freddie feels at home. Obviously, he doesn't necessarily want to be here. He'd rather be in Atlanta. But the fans definitely love him out here. The fans loved him in Atlanta too. I mean, did you hear the cheers over the weekend?
Yeah, man.
In Atlanta, dude, it was crazy. So I feel kind of bad for Freddie, but let's get him another ring and let's send him back to Atlanta to spend the last 3 to 4 years of his contract over there after he gets us a ring. So that's how I see it. Let's mercenary this fool, and then they'll send him back with the money he deserves. So. Sorry. Speaking of mercenaries, though,
my son's starting to talk. My 3-year-old's finally talking. Who would have known?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of mercenaries, my teams are trying to get some mercenaries, and Tom Brady already did it. He went to the Buccaneers, won us a Super Bowl. There are grumblings. I don't think this is going to happen. That's why I'm just throwing this in the grumblings that Kevin Durant could come to Phoenix. Let's do it. Let's mercenary. Let's win us a fucking championship. But one that did happen. LAFC, they went, first of all, they signed Chiellini, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago. But then way better. They signed Gareth Bale, the man who single-handedly carried Wales to the World Cup this year. And he actually has to face off against the US in the first game of the World Cup. But that led Real Madrid to, 5 titles, 7 titles, something like that. I don't know, way too many titles. He has a trophy cabinet that he couldn't bring to LA because the apartments aren't big enough out here. So he's out here, and we are basically going to hopefully run the show. And
it's on the roster in 2 weeks, right?
He is officially he's on the roster, I guess, today, but he's officially eligible to play on July 7th. Our game, July 8th, is against the Carson Galaxy at home. And as much as I love dredging up old memories, if you recall, Zlatan Ibrahimovic's first game was coming in about the 70th minute mark and fucking kicking a midfield fucking shot like some glory hog that he is, ripping his shirt off like a little bitch and beating us down in Carson. So I'm hoping that Gareth Bale comes in and says, let me one up this motherfucker, because he probably hates the guy. I mean, he's had to deal with Zlatan before in the Champions League. So he's probably like, fuck this dude. So I've seen Gareth Bale a lot. He's an older player. It's hard to call people older players when they're like barely your age. He's an older player.
He's 37. We could say older player.
Right. He's an older player. I've seen him since he was basically a fucking teenager.
Yeah.
And to know that he still probably has that ability. When we talked about Chiellini, we were like, he's slower legged, but it's all mentality. It's all locker room.
We used to watch him with Tottenham.
Yeah. That's
way
where he
back in the day.
He was in like the junior league with Tottenham and then grew up in Tottenham. And like Gareth Bale is not any slower in his legs. He's not what we talked about with Chiellini a couple weeks ago. He is spot on, and he will be the most talented MLS player ever on day one. Zlatan, of course, is up there. He probably right now is the most. So Bale will be challenging Zlatan for the most talented to play the game.
I'd say Zlatan was the best scorer, the best just pure scorer that we've seen. Because like if you look at peak primes, Gareth Bale could definitely be up there. Mm-hmm. I don't know, Rooney could be up there for his overall ability back in the day.
But when he came to the MLS, he wasn't as talented.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I mean.
He had a half court. He had a half court. He had an over half.
That was an assist, though. That was an assist. It was an assist. But it was put on the fucking money from like 80 yards away.
Yeah, that was insane. But yeah, I can see, whenever Zlatan was here, he was probably the best to come in. Definitely the best pure scorer this league has seen. But I think Gareth Bale is definitely coming in with a chip on his shoulder. And that's what he does. That's why Wales is where they're at. And he's always been that way. He's always been stupid competitive. And I think he's going to come into this team that's a melting pot in this league. Just somebody else to have to be interpreted for all these languages and shit on this team. But he's going to come in there with a fire. He speaks English
though, bro.
Yeah. But he's going to come in there with a fire under his. I'm just fucking around. He's going to come in with a fire under his ass. And I think more than we've seen with these big names coming into LAFC, Vela's a quieter guy. He's one of those guys who will do more of the and kind of groan and talk to you about it later on. But I can definitely see Bale lighting fire under some guys' asses, making stupid tackles, getting a yellow card, him letting you know, listen, bro, it's the 70th minute. You get another one, we're fucked. So tighten the fuck up. And that's definitely what this team is going to need to get that extra gear going. And winning the regular season's all fine and dandy, but last time you got put out in the first round. So you got to do better.
Seattle's always going to be lurking, ready to go. But
hey, drew with them, didn't we?
Yeah, but I'm saying in the playoffs, when the playoffs get here, they're ready to beat us. So on top of Chiellini, on top of Gareth Bale, somehow we did both of those signings without taking up a DP slot, an international DP slot. Don't ask me the rules. Don't ask me how shit works, because both of those are international players, so I don't understand. But we still have that slot. Now, I don't know how much you watched this year, but you obviously know who Chicho Arango is. He's our guy that's kind of came up and been our scorer. He's been our number 9 since Rossi's left, and he has put the ball in the back of the net. John Thorrington, our president, whatever he's called, COO, CPO, whatever.
He sounds like a bland white.
He is. And he is saying that once again, because this is all we ever do, Rossi, Brian Rodriguez, Christian Ramirez, anybody you want to talk about, our DP slots are always used for number 9s, and which the main striker, if you're not a soccer fan, he won't be wearing number 9 necessarily. But they're doing that again. So basically he's saying like Arango is going to be moved to the bench. We're going to find a striker. And apparently we're close to getting one. Now, Kylian Mbappe was in the stands that last game. No, it's not going to be in, but gotta. He was in the stands. He was watching, but there's a 0% chance.
Is that me looking at it? It looks like I'm looking at.
You're looking a little above it.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's pretty good. But he was in the stands. He was watching LA play. But no, it will not be Mbappe, but it will be an international striker. And once we fill that DP slot as well, so we'll have re-signed Carlos Vela, we'll have Chiellini, we grab Maxime Crepo, our goalie, before the season. We will have Gareth Bale, and we'll have whoever this international DP slot is. There were rumors that it was going to be Luis Suarez. It's not going to be, unless they're pulling the wool over our eyes.
That would be insane.
Thorrington has said straight up, it is not Suarez, I promise you, but it is a striker. That is what he said. So, but either way, we'll have another superstar come in. This has to be our year because Bale's piecing after this year. He's not trying to fucking stick around.
Well, he has an option.
Yeah, I know, but somebody's about to offer him $220 million or some shit, and he's out. So this is our year, and we were already atop the standings before this. So while I know I said there's not really much going on the sports fields, LAFC and MLS is starting to heat up. So get watching. We are playing tonight, by the way. We're playing Dallas, and I don't know if we're doing anything yet.
Just started.
It's 1-1 right now. So
she's in the race.
The Dodgers just hit a grand slam though. It's like, but anyways, Moose scored. So yeah, we're playing our bench warmers because it's a Wednesday. No offense to Moose, I love him, but he's a bench warmer. So yeah, it's 1-1 right now against Dallas. But that's going to be really exciting, and we should roll to an easy number 1. Hopefully a supporter shield, that'd be great. But I'm just praying, and if anybody else prays to whatever God they pray to, whether it be Jesus, whether it be science, whether it be Buddha, whoever, pray that Gareth Bale gets to play on July 8th, and that your boy Travis is sitting there right at the corner kick slot watching this dude will knock in a 30-footer, 30-yarder, I guess, not footer, for the win. That'd be amazing. That's all I'm hoping for.
So you guys do still have the season tickets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though, so now hopefully this season, NFL, no COVID testing, NBA next year, no COVID testing. MLS, I believe, is still testing for COVID amongst their players. They still have all their COVID, whatever they're
protocols
called.
And all that.
Yeah, protocols and all that stuff. So maybe you guys will be able to sneak some in there next year. And it seems like if you don't get to see a Bell sighting or anything like that, that's would suck. But at the end of the day, you guys are the new team to start getting all of these internationals. No longer the Carson Galaxy, who have always been the team. Now it's you guys, and it's not like you get one every 5-6 years like they were doing. Like, you guys are just, whenever the fuck you guys want to come, we have a seat ready for you.
Yeah.
And that's got to be awesome. That's got to be really exciting.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I will try to be at the July 8th game. It's so much harder for me to get to games, but that's a rivalry game. That's the game. That's the one you go to. Although tickets sell for a shit ton of money when you sell those, but you got to go watch those games. All right, so let's move on. There was some basketball stuff that happened. Obviously, the NBA draft, we talked about it last week, but we didn't know the official. And let's just pat each other on the back here, because we were fucking rock solid with most of our picks. I said that I believed Paolo Banchero was the best player available. I said that I believed the Magic would pick them. I said, which is wrong, was wrong, I guess, probably because the Magic sucked. I said trade down to number 3 and you will still get him. So that's the tweak that didn't happen. But the Magic did pick Paolo Banchero. Were they right or were they wrong, Seal? What should they have made that pick?
I think they were right at the end of the day. I mean, I was hyping up Smith just because if you can the way that team is built up in the small ball, if you can implant that guy on the defensive end and build around him even more, then that team was hyped to go somewhere. But like you give credit to you, like you said, Banchero's the guy that's going to be able to elevate that team right now. And they really feel like they have a team and they're going to be able to make moves in this free agency that starts today. If you're watching it, that's going to be able to get that team up there in the play-in tournament, if not in the playoffs, right off rip. And they're letting Mo Bamba go test out free agency. So yeah, that's going to be an exciting team to watch. And in other news, we saw Shaq's ready to buy that team if they want to sell. So that's got to be a pat on the back for the Magic and that organization to have somebody ready. That Shaquille O'Neal, somebody that you sold out on, is still ready to come back and take that organization, because he can see the ground that you're building and what you're trying to build. And like you said last week, Banchero is going to immediately impact that. But that's a big, excuse me, good gosh, big role to fill, man. To come in, they have a lot of young guys, and for him to be seen as the guy that's going to bring it all together and bring it around with a couple other, they're going to have to. We all know the NBA nowadays, they're going to have to get an old head. Damn, that would be crazy if Kevin Durant went to the Magic. They have a lot of picks they can give up. They have a lot of youngins they can get rid of and give to Brooklyn. That would be a place that would be very fucking interesting, and they could have. But damn, just thinking about that. But yeah, they're a great person away, or two or three really good vets away from being able to be a 5-6 seed in the Eastern Conference. And after the years they've had in recent memory, that's a lot after one draft pick.
What if they trust that Banchero? What's up?
Before 2 weeks ago, he was a plus 2,200 odds to be the first pick in the draft.
Yeah.
So if you put $1,000 down, you won $22,000.
And I went to Vegas fucking 2 weeks too late. Is what I'm telling you.
Insane.
So what if they trust that Banchero can be the number one player on an NBA team? And so their goal this year is to go get a number 2 player on an NBA team. And they throw a shit ton of Bradley Beal money out there and say, hey, we know you just opted out. We have a front court with Wendell Carter, with Paolo Banchero.
Said he's already made his decision.
With Jonathan Isaac, with Paolo Banchero. We have a point guard in Cole Anthony. We just need you to come here and hit threes and be a veteran, be an old head. Let's do this. Listen, everybody's made their decision until that shit hits 3:00 Eastern time on Thursday afternoon, and there's a piece of paper in front of them. What if that piece of paper in front of him is 4 years, 220 million or whatever fuck max is, and he has to sit and think, like, do I really want to get one more year with like, what is it, 5 million a year more to stay in Washington and fucking lose, or go take that 4-year deal and play in Orlando? I think that would be huge for them, because the thing is that it would probably take a couple of years, because Banchero is not going to be the number 1 star right away. But if he truly gives
that team set up, you saw Franz this year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they believe that, they'll have they could have their one shitty playoff run in year 1, get that shit over with, so that they have experience and get going. That would be huge. I think they would be amazing.
So you think that the team they have right now, like, you made me stutter with that. Holy shit. The team they have right now, they could make not even just a play-in, they could make a playoff
with Bradley Beal. If they got Bradley Beal.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying
they would get now. I'm saying if he signed, they'd get their shitty playoff run out, maybe a second round exit where they took them 6 or 7 games or whatever in year 1. Yeah. And then next year they could start getting ready.
Yeah, so, I agree.
That'd be cool. I don't think it'll happen, but he'll get to come back to Florida. He'll get to hang out with his family.
He's from DeJounte Murray.
He's from just up the road. Yeah, that would. I guess everything's just up the road from Orlando and Florida, but Bill's from right out there. So that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I mean, he said, I just hope it's not the Heat. That would really suck. That would really fucking suck.
Man, I mean,
Tyler Hero doesn't want to be on the bench anymore. If Bradley Beal came to town, that team would definitely be
That's
going to the
true.
finals, and Tyler Hero
Yeah.
would definitely be on the bench. And him being the sixth man, he's not going to be the sixth man that gets 35 minutes. He's going to go down to 25 minutes, and that boy's going to be coming out hungry, and that team's going to put up 120 on you, and you're only going to be able to put up 85, 90 every fucking game. That team would be scary as shit.
That team would be scary. So,
But Bam's soft as fuck, so there's
true.
your one place you can get off on.
For what it's worth, free agency starts, if you listen before 3:00 Eastern time, it won't start till after you listen. So let's go through real quick on some people that have declined their options, because that's all we know currently. And see, because just because you decline your option doesn't mean you're not staying. But let's go through that and let's see. Let's start with an easy one, and that's James Harden. We talked about that over text. So let's start with him. James Harden declined his option. First of all, we both think he's going back to the Sixers, right? Like that's where it's at. But so that's not really the negotiation here. The talk is his option was $47.3 million. Do you think Harden made a fucking stupid decision to turn down $47.3 million, and now he's riding in with he'll probably make what 10 to 12 and hopefully win a championship?
No, it's going to be somewhere in the 2025 area. I would presume. So he's going to miss probably $20 million at the end of the day. But this is a guy who's made no less than $30 million the last 8 years. So as long as he's been good with his funds, he's a fairly wealthy man, and he's going to stick that way. He seems like he's smart. He's in the era of the kids who grew up the LeBron James era, where they all became businessmen and they all have stuff. They all have some kind of businesses. They have into some kind of stocks and real estate, and all of these guys that were around that era and beyond now have done really good with their money and having financial stability. So maybe he's at the point to where this guy knows, hey, listen, I'm getting old. I've always been a chubby fuck. So it's about this time to where I need to get a ring. And he sees the Sixers, he sees Joel Embiid, he sees Tobias Harris, and he knows they're about $20 million worth of roster space away a year and getting a guy that can help us win a championship. And hey, maybe I need to start looking at this more. And maybe that's leading up to the whole team, Joel Embiid, maybe Tobias Harris. They are all going to try to go. And I don't know how the NBA is, if they're as easy as the NFL is, because we all know the NFL salary cap is fucking fake as shit. Right. And you can restructure at any point in time, apparently, and move shit around to where it doesn't matter this year. It'll matter in 5 years when the fucking salary cap might be this. And even if it's not, we'll move it down. We'll sign you again and move it down another 5 years. Right. And it just all means nothing. So if the NBA is that way, maybe that's something that this team's going to start doing, and we'll see them end up. Maybe Kyrie would end up there. Maybe something coming up tomorrow would happen.
Let's put Kyrie and James Harden and fucking beat them the same team and see what happens.
I mean, we saw it happen for a little bit before James Harden left, and it didn't look too bad. But right when KD was out for a minute there, and it was just James Harden and Kyrie. And
I think $20 million will get them a solid 2.5 men that are ready to fucking ball.
Yeah.
And if you can put that with Maxey and Tybal and the guys you said and all that, it's gonna be huge. No, I think you made the right move too, but it's hard when your pockets say like, yo, 1 year, 47 million. But the thing is, he's gonna sign 3 or 4 years. So he's almost guaranteeing that if something shitty happens next year, he still has some guaranteed money coming in for the next few years. So that's good. We talked about Bradley Beal declining his option. The odds are, in my opinion, that he either stays at Washington for that super max, or he could potentially go to like a Miami or somewhere. Houston is an enticing option with all the moves they've been making and draft picks they've been making. But my guess is he stays in Washington. I don't know that he has that fire, that drive, which sucks to talk about Bradley Beal that way because I love the man. But I think he's just like, yo, fucking give me the super max. Let me keep my family. My kids are in school. Let me just do my thing here. and make a shit ton of money. I think that vibes with him. I don't think he cares as much about winning as some of these other guys.
I don't know. I think he'll be able to sign a 4-year max. That's an option. So I think he'll end up doing that, going somewhere else. I think he does have the fire in him. I think he does want to win. And he's tried doing it for Washington. He's tried doing it for the team that's drafted him. And like, I mean, can't get it wrong time and time again. They've been able to get these good draft picks, it seems like, and they haven't worked out. They've gotten these trades that haven't worked out. And it was supposed to be him and John Wall, and it couldn't be. So they tried to get him and Russ, and it definitely wasn't happening. So they scratched that really quick and tried to fix that. And even that,
and they did fix it. I mean, they have some money.
But they're not doing anything with it. They're not trying to help him out. And I hope him being a Gator, even for just a year, that he wouldn't want to just sit around and make money for the rest of his career, that he would want to go at least fight for a championship and not just knowingly play for a shitty team for a lot of money.
We'll see. I mean, it's worked in the Wizards past. Did you know, like, I was just like thinking, like, who were the best Wizards of all time, because they've sucked forever. And Gilbert Arenas has to have been like the best Wizard of all time, right?
Absolutely.
Which Gilbert Arenas was amazing, but he was somebody that soaked up the money just to be kind of an above average player.
Yeah.
And so Bradley Beal, if he does stay with the Supermax, he has a chance to be the Wizards' best player of all time, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
But yeah,
like, are we including them with the Bullets and all that shit, like the whole era?
I don't know those eras as much, but yeah, I mean, I guess he would have used them. But I was literally just thinking off the top of my head, and I was like, it's got to be Agent Zero. He's the man. As long as
at least since we've been born. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That we'll put that in our defense. I don't know if there's some fucking 1970 dude that went on a run for 12 years for the Bullets.
There's probably one of those NBA 75 dudes that were from the Bullets, so maybe then.
Don't forget about Elijah Williams. Like, sorry guys, we were in a nutsack still.
They
were in a nutsack, and we were in that nutsack.
Exactly. So now let's talk about a couple of smaller options that got declined. Just to preface this, I think both people are going to go back to their teams personally, but let's entertain the option. So first, Bobby Portis, he declined his option. I truly think there's not a chance he goes anywhere else. I just think he needs a little bit more money because he's getting what, like $4 million. Or he was getting like $4 million. So he's like, fuck this, give me some real money. So I think that's the case. But if you're Milwaukee, you have Giannis, you have Chris Middleton, you have Drew Holiday, and you have a little bit of space. Are you trying to use this space on Bobby Portis, or are you trying to test the free agent market out and get somebody else? Like, what's your decision?
You really have to let Bobby Portis go. He's really gotten too ahead of himself. I mean, it's kind of on you guys for making him feel so fucking big, putting Cam Johnson on him for a whole fucking series and letting him do work and making him think that he's this big, great guy. And I mean, yeah, he's good. The guy's a good player. On a championship team where people were buying these Golden State teams, all this stuff, we see players like him. He would be a JTA. Toscano Anderson, if you don't watch basketball a lot, one of these guys who does really good when he's on the court, but he's only getting 10, 15 minutes a game. He's one of these, let's talk about another Warriors guy. What's his name? Bielitsa, who's another one on that team. Looney. Like, he would be one of those type guys. And I'm just talking about the championship team this year who has guys like him. He would be one of those guys. He's not starting. He's not getting 32, 35 minutes a game. He is for the Bucks because of the fan base that loves him and what he did in the finals, and the roster they have is really built towards Giannis. Fucking, they're lucky that they have Lopez. If they didn't have Lopez, then he would definitely be getting mismatched like a motherfucker, having to play the 5 right now in the small man. And he definitely wouldn't be up for this money. But for him to think he's worth more than 15 a year is absolutely preposterous. And for him to try to get off on the Bucks like that is downright disrespectful. In my Stephen A. Smith voice, that's just it. I don't understand where he thinks he deserves it. When you look at the numbers in his career, he's nowhere near what he wants. And I would take the $9 million and be very fucking thankful.
Well, so on the flip side of that, I agree. That's a good point. I still think he's going to stay with the Bucks. But on the flip side of that, if you're Bobby Portis, are you looking at, and this year made this a shitty comparison. So just scratch that this year happened and let's look at last year. Are you looking at what Julius Randle did and saying, yo, I could go to like a fucking mediocre team and pop some Julius Randle numbers out and earn myself a max as opposed to a $15 million deal? Like if he goes and signs a 2-year, 30 million and then pulls a Julius Randle and goes off and gets his team to the 5 seed and does some shit. Do you think that path is in him? Is he good enough to be a big time scorer like Randall did out of nowhere?
I honestly, I don't see. I mean, we haven't seen enough. We saw this season. Came out of nowhere. So that's to be told, but at this point, no. We saw early in Randall's career, even
well, he's the number 2 pick or whatever, so he was expected to be better.
But Kentucky, like you can see his potential to be able to shoot off the dribble and shoot with his back to the basket and all this stuff, and even that was glimpses of what he was in college. He was just a fucking beast, an absolute athletic freak, and then he started developing and became into the Randall that we know today. And I don't get me wrong, but I feel like Portis is only 2 years younger. Like he's not, yeah,
maybe, yeah,
like maybe not even that far. He might be older.
I think he played all 4 years at Arkansas, so he's probably right around there.
Yeah, so honestly, I don't think there's too much more time for much development to get to that area and be able to peak through for 3 or 4 years. He might get there and have a great year and then fall off. I mean, we've seen that before. Due to injuries, we've seen it due to people coming in and just doing their thing and ended up on a good team and that really needed them to shine, and they shine and they go to another team and then suck.
Yeah.
But that could happen. He could definitely do that. But from what we've seen and the way, I think it's his goatee that makes me think he's so old. The goatee with the goggles and the headband, he just looks like he's from 80s basketball or something like that. Yeah. So man, the dude could be 22 years old.
He's 27.
Yeah.
I'm checking.
And how old? Yeah. Randall's probably
27.
Yeah.
Dead even. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I'm right. But yeah, it would take a lot, right? And you just think the way he plays right now, that would be a lethal fucking threat, right? If he's able to come off the dribble, back off, shoot a fucking 3, doesn't matter who is it on because he's 6'9", right? 6'10",
something like that. Yeah,
Portis is. So it doesn't really matter who he's shooting on unless he's in practice getting swatted by Giannis all fucking day. But it could happen, but no. And those are the guys that are going to be making the 20. I think he wants 27.
Yeah.
Like those are the guys making 27 that are able to stretch the offense in today's game.
Right.
Like, no, you're the hype guy. You're the guy that hopefully can come in fucking 30 out of 82 games and score double digits. But every other game, we need you to get some blocks. We need you to get some steals. We need you to get fucking 10 points. Get us 10 points every couple games, but we need the steals. We need the blocks. We need the rebounds. We need the extra effort. And then, when we're down, if you can come in and be that X factor that gets us 12 points and we win by 3, like, we'll take that too, but we're definitely not going to hang our fucking hats on that. That's why you're not making 27 a year.
Gotcha. And then the last guy who's not looking for 27 million a year and who I'm pretty sure is just declining his option just so that the team can figure out what he's doing and then bring him back. And that's Patty Mills. He wasn't making much in the first place, but he declined his option. And then he literally was just like, yeah, I still want to be at the Nets. Like, just fucking figure it out and I'll sign the paper. So I don't think he's going anywhere. He's too nice of a guy. He's too role player of a guy, but he did opt out. So is there another team out there that's not tied up in Durant and Kyrie money that could offer him maybe a little more than that? Maybe offer him 9-10 million and maybe pique his interest a little bit?
That's possible, but I don't know. I think Patty's pretty chill with where he's at in his career. He's not really searching too much. Whatever happens.
Yeah.
And he's been making the same amount of money his whole career, it seems like, right?
Pretty much.
It doesn't seem like he might have got a big contract with the Spurs back
I
in their
think he cares
championship
more
with
about
the
Team Australia than he does about anybody in the fucking
oh,
NBA.
absolutely.
Because he
Absolutely.
balls out when he's on
Yeah,
Australia.
absolutely. But no, I think he's just chilling. He's more of that locker room guy. I think he loves the NBA like lifestyle. There's nothing to it now. It's not like the 2000s where they were getting all this shit. It's just the team aspect, being able to travel with a team and coach up a team and help out. Like he's chilling. And so no, I don't think unless his agent's in his ear trying to get that extra money, like Freddie Freeman's people's, then I think he's chilling.
Cool. Yeah, I think he is too. So the biggest, I actually almost forgot somebody I did want to talk about. The Kings said that DiVincenzo could go look, and they're not even going to fucking match. They said, you're done. Here, go ahead and be a free agent. We don't even care what your offer is, because they could have extended a qualifying offer and they said, no, we're good. So DiVincenzo, before we move on, what role do you think he plays on a team? We saw what he did with the Bucks. Obviously, the Kings are the Kings. Nobody gives a fuck. But what can he bring to a team, and like how much money do you think a team's going to offer a guy that's really not even a sixth man, but just part of a good rotation that'll be that 7 to 10 guy that can come in and get you hard rebounds, good passes, just smart gameplay? Where does he stand?
I think he's going to be one of those guys who can come into a championship team and be a really good piece. We saw a couple of years ago, even before their championship in Milwaukee, he was Tyler Hero before Tyler Hero. Yeah. He was going out there giving you 15 a game, no problem. And I think that's still very much possible. I don't know if he's suspect on defense or what. He didn't seem like he was in Milwaukee, but I think he's a guy who could get 20, 25 minutes on a team who's no way. What? No way. We'll talk about that in a second. It's basketball as well.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, it shows you got the right bridges. But what was I even just talking about? That whole
did Miles go to Detroit yet? What is
no, it has nothing to do with that. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, DiVincenzo. Yeah. But no, I can definitely see him going to a Western Conference team like the Clippers and helping them out. They're full of guards. Why not add another one on? Or just any team. I could see him going to the Suns and helping them out. He would definitely be an upgrade from Shamet. I think so. And Shamet played a lot. We saw what's his name? We love this dude bringing the pain. Campaign. He would definitely be an upgrade from him. So why not bring him in there and give him significant minutes in Phoenix? And with the way that team's coached up by CP3 and Monty, I think the sky would be the roof for him as well. Yeah, that's actually accurate for DiVincenzo. The roof isn't the sky for him. The sky is the roof.
Yeah, right.
But that would be a good fit. So I think he'll go somewhere. I think he needs to get level-headed and realize he's not what he thought he was going to be 3 years ago whenever he came out of college and just started popping off out of nowhere for the Bucks for a couple years.
Yeah.
And then they thought he wasn't worth what he thought he was worth. And now the Kings aren't going to go ahead with him because they don't think he's worth what he thinks he's worth. So hopefully he'll just take 4 or 5 mil clean. I think that's what he's offered right now.
I think that's what they turned down the chance to even offer him. Yeah.
So say clean 4 or 5 mil and go to a team that's really good and see if you can't prove yourself in a good organization. The Kings aren't a good organization.
Right. He was probably happy as fuck to get out of there.
Yeah.
All right. So before we move on, I don't know what your bridges point is, but before we move on, free agency officially starts Thursday. If you guys are listening, it's probably Thursday or beyond. Give me one bold prediction for your free agencies. We've been looking, we've seen Woj's tweets, we've seen who's opted out, we've seen who's on the free agent market. What's one of your bold predictions for what we'll be talking about next Tuesday when we talk, or Wednesday, whatever fuck day we talk?
Bradley Beal's going to be a Cleveland Cavalier.
Bradley Beal is going to be a Cleveland Cavalier. All right. That'd be dope. But then what would Sexton do? They tell him to go kick rocks somewhere, right?
That'd be great. That'd be absolutely awesome. And at that point, Kevin Love can retire.
True. But that's true.
No, I don't think that. Honestly, I think Bradley Beal could definitely end up in Miami.
Okay.
He said a couple weeks ago his mind was already made up, and Butler's been very, very, very quiet this free
That's
agency, and that's
true.
something we haven't seen in the last couple of years. We're usually seeing his little thinking emojis to Woj's, his conspiracies, and all this stuff. Hasn't said shit. Bradley Beal said his decision's already made. He declined his option, so we knew. Okay, maybe he is going for that super max, but no, I think Miami is definitely ready to give him that 4-year max. They are able to, and hopefully willing to, because that would be fucking awesome to see. Like I don't like the Heat at all because of the LeBum, but at the end of the day, they didn't get the 3, the 4, the 5. So I think
Right.
I can laugh at it and mock it and enjoy them being a great fucking team that would be.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because my bold prediction actually involves the Cavs, and so it's funny when you said that. But first, I'll say DeAndre Ayton's gone. That's not a bold prediction. We're just going to be talking about where he's at and who we're going to fill the team with. But that's not bold. This one might not be bold either. But slow mo, Kyle Anderson is going to be on the Cavs, and bro is going to help you guys out a ton, dog. When Jared Allen and Evan Mobley come off and they're playing like this little small ball lineup, well, maybe not come off, but one comes off and the other slides, and they need that small ball 4. Kyle Anderson's going to come in and he's going to play for you guys to spell Kevin Love, to say, Kevin Love, you're getting old.
He's a free agent right now too, right?
What's that?
He's a free agent right now.
Yeah. I think he's who you guys are going to go try to grab. And I think we'll be talking about how big of a help he's going to be to you guys.
That'd be dope.
Coming off the bench there.
That'd be really dope. I would not mind. I need to start doing this. I would not mind that at all, Travis. That'd be awesome.
So
that'd be awesome. But real quick, so Miles Bridges, right?
Miles, not Mikhail, right?
Yeah, before we get off basketball. Oh, actually, it is MIK. No, I'm kidding. Miles Bridges, Hornets forward, was arrested for felony domestic violence charges in Los Angeles.
God damn. Why was he in Los Angeles?
I don't know.
Was he trying to go to the Clippers with John Wall? We didn't talk about that, but
oh yeah, we didn't.
John Wall. He's not gonna do shit. Yeah, he's not gonna do shit.
Reggie Jackson's gonna play more minutes than he is.
Wow, that sucks for him because he was ready for the bag, dude. People were about to offer him up, son. Dude, Detroit is scrambling right now though, because Detroit was gonna offer him big time.
I mean, hey, now they can get a fucking cut. They can get a big time discount. Discount.
That's true.
Listen, you're going to be suspended half the season. We'll give you $20 million for 2 seasons.
And the Hornets are just going, that's why we didn't fucking give you that contract, bitch.
You know, Jordan's probably laughing his ass off right now.
Yeah, Jordan's probably with him in LA. Oh, well, not his domestic battery. Just kidding. I thought it was like partying or some shit. Yeah, he probably wasn't with him for that. That sucks though. I mean, I hope everything's all right there. I hope he isn't doing something stupid, but yeah, that's kind of funny. So we are going to get out of here. Of course, we still have to talk about our rec league, and we're getting kind of long. But before we get to that, the big fight is this weekend, or the big fights.
Oh man, I can't. Don't let me get long-winded. Cut me off whenever you feel like
going to. And I know your favorite fighter is fighting. So
yes, sir.
So we're actually going to start from the top down so that we can
Pablo, right? Is his fuck ass name
Pablo? Pedro,
whatever his name is.
So, but let's start from the top because of course we don't have a ton of time. Izzy gets another shot at just dominating the rest of the middleweights with Jared Cannonier. Now, if body physique was a belt, Jared Cannonier would have that over Izzy all day long. But is there a chance that Jared pulls this upset?
No, not at all. I feel like this is one of the bigger cards in a while, but this is definitely one of the more scripted cards as well. Like the UCF set these fights up knowing exactly what the fuck should go on.
Have you seen that man's fucking, when he's on the scale though, and he's flexing? Dude is nasty looking, bro. In a good way, good nasty.
Yeah.
He's fucking ripped. All right,
yeah,
so
he looks like he's one of them big fucking like what was that? What was that movie? The fucking book when we were kids. The guy who beat the train, the steel machine plowing through the mountain. John Carver or some shit.
Oh yeah, some shit like that.
That's what he would look like. Like that motherfucker would be the steel machine plowing through a mountain.
Yeah.
But Stylebender's gonna fucking beat his ass.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's one to stay away from if you're a bettor, because the odds are definitely reflecting that.
I feel like all of the odds should be reflecting the same way. Like,
yeah, except the next fight is not. Alexander Volkanovski is only a 190 favorite against Max
that's
Holloway.
stupid.
And I know how much you love Max Holloway, but what sort of chance does he have against Volk for the third time? Third time around.
He's gonna get smashed in the first round. Is this a 5 round or a 3 round?
Well, yeah, it's a title fight.
All right, so he's smashed in the second round. He's gonna toy with him for a round.
Holloway is going to try to toy with him. And his last fight is what's getting him 160 odds. But to get 190 on a fucking belt holder is amazing. A belt holder that's won 2 fights in a row against this dude already. Volk is the man, and he's really good. So I think both titles stay in hand as well. But a dead even fight, Sean Strickland and Alex Pereira, is hilarious to me. And I know these two are lesser known people, but Sean Strickland has been fucking around forever.
Yeah.
And Alex Pereira, why is dude getting the main card? What fight is he coming? What fight thing is he coming
New
from?
guy on the block. He has 6 professional fights.
He's 2-0 in the UFC. He has 6 professional fights. Like, where is this motherfucker coming from to get the fight before the main event and even odds against fucking Sean Strickland?
I don't know who
people just hate Sean Strickland because he talks a lot of dumbass shit.
And I feel like that's half the reason. He probably talked shit on an odd maker's wife or some shit one day. So that's why they gave him even odds. So nobody makes money if he wins. Either way. But that'd be hilarious. Like, oh yeah, you want to talk shit? Now your family has to put in $100,000 to win 101,000. Good job, bud.
Right.
But I mean, this Pereira dude has to have wowed people to get this spot. And when I first saw it, it came out 12 weeks ago. The card did. I was like, yo, this dude has 6. Why the fuck is O'Malley always leading these cards out, and this motherfucker has 6 fights? Like, O'Malley's put in his time, but he came on the McAfee show, and he asked to be the lead off. He likes going in first. He likes being able to do media and come out and watch the mains and all that shit. He likes being the guy that gets it going, and so I can respect that. I like that a lot. But damn, this dude has 6 fights. What the fuck have you done?
Hey,
and we're gonna see, right?
We'll be watching. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, we're definitely gonna see what happens, and I'm gonna be very intrigued to see how long this fight lasts and if Strickland's the one to come out on top, because
Strickland's gonna knock him out and then teabag his ass.
Bro, Vegas always knows something.
That's true. Have you seen Sean Strickland's Twitter? This dude is fucking. How is he still around?
No, I don't tweet a lot.
He's like homophobic, but I'm sure he's not actually homophobic. But on his tweets, like, he's like the Colby Covington of homos.
LBGTQ RSV.
Like, Colby is racist on his persona. I don't know that he's actually racist, but his persona is MAGA racist bullshit. Sean Strickland is like this anti-woke, anti-LGBTQ. Like, it's hilarious to read, but it's fucking so stupid.
I will never fight him with that rainbow hair, dude. Get O'Malley away from me.
Yeah, he'll be like, I'm scared to go to mount with this guy because I'm pretty sure he's gay, and I'm glad we're wearing clothes. Like, just a bunch of bullshit. And then the gatekeeper, Robbie Lawler. This man is is this his last fight? He's just the dude that people fight on a main card to say, I know, to say, look, I beat Robbie Lawler. Now give me a good fighter. Like, Robbie's just, and I love the man, but he's about 7 years too late. He needs to get out of here. So shout out to him. There's not much to say on that. But then your boy Sean O'Malley, and I love him too, but you love him a lot.
I love O'Malley.
Pedro Munoz is definitely the best fighter he's ever fought. It'll be the first top 10 guy he's ever fought. Of course, they're on different trajectories. Sean O'Malley's this way. Munoz is going down. Munoz had his best run already, and it seems like he's kind of backing back down. But still, this is the best fight that Sean O'Malley's ever had.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. The way he says it seems scripted. But yeah, it's gonna be a nice what am I trying to say? Test. It's gonna be a nice test to see where he's at skill wise and if he's gonna be ready to get these mains and go up for these belts. And I feel like he's one of those guys who feels like he can go up in a weight class and get another belt. I think that might be one of his
Yeah,
goals.
because he's tall as fuck and just
Yeah.
skinny as fuck.
Yeah, well, he has to be. He can
Yeah,
definitely.
to be
He can definitely
145.
not. Yeah, he can definitely not shave 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Like I think that would help him out a lot. So I think that's something that he wants to do. So this is going to be a good test to see where he's at in this division and see if he's going to be there. But yeah, I think this is going to end up the same way they all have. It's going to be a sugar show, and it's going to be a fun one to fucking watch.
Yeah, the first round he's going to be figuring him out, and then from then on he's going to be playing around doing bullshit ass stuff, and then he'll eventually catch him, knock him, and do his spinning fadeaway thing that he does. But no, it'll be a fun fight to watch. Everybody go steal it and go watch it. Dana doesn't listen to this, so I don't give a fuck. And it'll be worth
bro.
it.
I love how he is cracking down like all the pandemic. I'm cracking
My
down.
shit's been cleaner than fuck.
It's cracking down. Are you stealing it? Man, the last 2 or 3, I haven't had to fucking refresh. I haven't had to find a new stream.
Been so clean.
It's been great.
You can't do shit because in Europe they're allowed to watch that shit for free. So you can't knock their shit down because they're doing everything legally. But anyways, so real quick before we get out of here, Rec League, let's talk about it. Mine was off. I had a bye week. I went out. I downloaded and printed out pictures. Literally, I'm fucking in private investigator mode of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson's pregame warmups with the shots they do with their forms, with their stuff. So I'm out there doing the Steph Curry, like little just 3 foot little one-handers. Then I back up and I do like a little full squat to like this thing. And like, it's working, dude. I ran through the whole thing, then backed up to the free throw and hit like 8 out of 10, just like that. And if you're still where I get to talk to you every day, you'll know that that's a big accomplishment for where I am right now, because back in the day, it's like, oh, 8 out of 10 free throws. Yeah, of course. But I've been way off. My form's been weird. I've been in my head. I've been funky. So going through that, the first time I headed to the free throw line, 8 out of 10, I was like, all right, like I'm getting that focus. So I printed all that stuff out and I'm just out there doing these form drills. I didn't touch the 3-point line the whole game, or I was out there for an hour and a half, never really left the paint even. I was just doing my shit. And it seems to be working. So I'm happy about it. But that's my off week and it's nice.
I have not done any of that. Haven't been running at all since Coop's been in town.
Make him run with you, dog.
After the first game. But I mean, I could go out there while he's playing his video games and shit, I guess, but just haven't. But yeah, we lost this week to the shittiest team in the league. It was heartbreaking. It was annoying as fuck, and it's hard to talk about. But it's the same shit every week.
You guys have our fucking problem where you look up and you're down 20 before the game even started.
Yeah, we get there. We're all get our shoes on, put our jersey on, and we walk on the court and the game starts. We don't talk about what's going to go on in the game. We don't have no kind of game plan going into it. Nothing. Nobody even knows who's going to fucking start until they say, let's go. And then Scott picks the 5 to start. And it shows, dude. We're in every single fucking game, we're end up down double digits within the first 10 minutes. And we always come back to get a lead.
Right.
We have done it every single game. Just this game, we didn't get the win. We went up 1, and then they scored 7 straight, and we couldn't score again. It's frustrating, man. It really sucks. We always start out the game, everybody's watching, nobody's running. And then finally, people stop giving a fuck about the people. Scott and Alan will stop caring about everybody watching and not running around. And for some reason, I'm running the whole time. I'm working the whole time. I'm getting to the open spot. They don't pass it to me, which I completely agree with right now, because I'm 0 for fucking 3 the last 2 games. I've hit the rim 1 fucking time out of those 3 shots. Yeah. And 2 of them have been wide open shots. And that's why I went back to the
fucking 3-foot shot.
And those were the air balls. And it's really frustrating. But talk to myself, talk to baby girl. The difference is absolutely. I came in the first game not really expecting much. That knowing they don't really know me, they don't know that I'm a shooter, and then going out there and shooting the way I did. And I came out the second game trying to prove, all right, I got this, and I'm thinking about everything, and I'm not just catching and shooting. Literally, this last game, I remember catching it. The laces were crooked. I said, "Oh fuck," and shot it, and fucking just. It doesn't matter where the fucking laces are, bro. When you're in the game, you fuck. I just was thinking too hard about getting the ball,
get it to where I can see the
shot.
rotation, get that shit.
I said, "Oh fuck," and it's annoying as shit. And like with every other team on the league, nobody cares about minutes.
Right.
Nobody cares about minutes. Nobody. Like sometimes people are like, "Hey man, do you mind if I get in?" Yeah, hey, I'll come out at 7 minutes. Give me a minute and a half. You know, all right, cool. There's one person in the league that'll look you dead in your eyes and say no. And he's not the only person in the league that doesn't want to run or anything, but he's the only person on our team that will not continue to run. And the team that we played, the shittiest team in the league, they'll outrun every team in the league almost. Yeah. Like that's not their problem. They're just not that good. They are very athletic. They are very conditioned. They will run. And if you don't run, you're going to get beat all game long. If you try too hard, they're going to take advantage of it because they're fucking fast. They run. And that happened to me a couple of times. I got 3 early fouls just because I tried to get to a spot I knew they were going to be at, and they beat me to it. And I fucking hit them with my hip, and I'm like, dude, I didn't even like, I'm not even trying to do anything. I'm not chicken winging. They just beat me there, and we hit each other. They're like, yeah, you got to beat them there. And I'm like, but you would have called me for a blocking still.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Refs and rec are ridiculous.
Like, I literally like there was one like that, and then there was another where I tried to get the still, and I like barely glanced his arm, and they called it. I'm like, come on, guys.
Yo, I didn't tell you my shit from last week. So we were down 2, and the ref thought we were just fouling because there's no shot clock, right? So we had like 40 seconds left, but usually you just start to foul because the other team's going to stand there. Well, I didn't get the memo, I guess, because I'm fucking like, I'm guarding the worst player. So I'm like, if he gets this fucking ball, I'm going to try to get it from him. So they threw it into him. I grabbed all fucking ball. I had the full thing. Ref blows the whistle for a foul. I went off, dude. My girl got mad at me. I was like, I'm sitting here fucking holding the ball. He goes, yeah, you guys were just trying to foul it immediately. I know, like it's the end of the game. I was like, well, then I don't give a fuck. If I didn't actually foul him, don't call that shit.
Yeah.
I was so mad. He was like, you want a tech too? I'm like, get the fuck out of here, bro. I was like, only if you know what a real fucking tech is, because you ain't calling real fouls. I was so mad.
That's annoying as fuck. And it's already known, like one of the guys on that team is also a ref, and he's the guy with the torn ACL or whatever. It's getting a lot better. He definitely hit a couple of euros where I was like, that was your plant, bro. What the fuck? Like, all right, that's cute. But that's also the guy that beat me to the spot too with my slow ass.
Right.
But no, he's a ref as well. And you could see him talking to him. We didn't get a lot of calls, and it wasn't good, man. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who the fuck's running, who isn't running. If people want to get in the game, we're all paying money to play, right, dude. Like we all want to in our league, we all want to win. Like we all want to win. I get it. But if you're literally just want to be in the game to be in the game, that's whack, bro. And like we can talk about it. You can hear in the audio a little bit of me and him going at it. Yeah. Because I was telling him, you can hear me saying, move, Zach, move, because he was standing around for 4 straight possessions and they were stuck. Like we were stuck on the left side because he wouldn't move around. Right. And Joe's moving around, Alan's moving around, and he's just standing there, and everything's left heavy because he's just standing on the wing the whole time. And for some reason, we keep letting him bring it up, and he doesn't move around with the ball. So he brings it up the left side. I wish we had your little drawing that you had going last week. Yeah. Brings it up the left side, hands it off to somebody right on the left side, goes around them. And so now we're left heavy, right? Yeah. We have 2 people over here. They have always Scott's right there. We have Alan running around and Joe running around. and they're just ready to steal the fucking ball. They're
Yep.
just ready to steal the ball on the weak side.
And they can guard
Yeah.
2 people at fucking once because it's
Yeah.
all
And
over
all
there.
he needs to do is roll around so somebody else can come around.
And he can walk. It doesn't even have to be
Yeah,
fucking run.
yeah.
Get
Just
over
roll. Yeah, you can roll, bitch. Just roll. And
Yeah.
it doesn't happen. So finally I was like, yo, move, bro. Like, move. And instead of his response being, okay, and start moving around, he said, stay your ass on the sidelines. What? Like, bro, we're trying to win. So Joe tried to sub him out. Old man Joe, been in the league forever. Like, I respect this man a lot. And
So
said,
does the fucking
I'm good.
announcer and everybody in the chat too. They love that guy.
Yeah, Joe's the shit. So they're like, oh, I'm good. Joe's like, what the fuck? So just move. And he finally gets out, doesn't come back in the rest of the game because he wants to pout and shit. And he says something about my offense. And I know my offense has been off the last couple games, but you have 2 points with 2 free throws.
Yeah.
Like, don't, like, I've been off, but I'm a shooter too, dude. Like, you haven't done anything at all.
Your dude that doesn't jump when he shoots, though, is turning into one of my favorite players. He's fun. It's on your team, right? Dude that doesn't jump when he shoots threes.
The black dude?
Yeah.
D.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
second round pick that acts like
I
he was
love
a fifth
him,
round
dude.
pick, though.
He's fucking cool. Like,
Yeah,
just
he's our
watching him
dude.
play.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, watching him play is
So
just
right
fun.
before halftime, I got subbed out for Joe to come on the court. And at halftime, D comes up to me yelling at me. He's like, yo, they start looking at this point. Yo, why the fuck did you sub out, bro? And I was like, coach told me to. Scott told me to. He was like, what the fuck? That should have been Zach. And I was like, I know, bro, but I'm not the coach. I can't do anything.
No, watching him play is fun, but it's weird watching him shoot without jumping. He just fucking.
So I came out more in the second half, and that's when we finally fucking came back, dude. And we were doing really fucking good. But then he came in, wasn't doing it. Dude, in this league, it doesn't matter who we play. A lot of these guys can put ball in basket at the rim. And for Scott and Allen, they're not trying to foul. They're playing 40 minutes a game. So their goal is to go up when they're going to be able to get the ball. They're not trying to go up and get fouls. That's our job.
Yeah.
That's what we do. So if we get them, that's an easy bucket for them. And they were able to do it. We were playing 4-on-5 on defense and 4-on-5 on offense for about 13 minutes during that game. And that's where we were extremely suspect. And that's against the worst team in the league. And if we don't fix that, if he doesn't fix it, and our offense hasn't worked for the last 2 weeks since the first game of the season.
Right.
Our offense just isn't working. So if that happens, like, we are going to lose the rest of our games. We play the Sixers next, which isn't the worst team. The Bucks were. They're the second worst team in the league. So I'm not too confident in that. Then we play the Spurs, who are now the only undefeated team in the league. And then we play the Warriors, who were in the championship like the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So
we play 2 okay teams. I'm hoping we can at least steal one of those. And but we have 3 fucking weeks off, which is, god damn it, a long time.
But yeah.
But next week I'll be on location while you're spinning your shit around to do your shout out. Why not end on that shout out?
I guess I can.
Are you not spinning it around? What are you
doing?
Was. Oh.
I was gonna shout it out.
It's a shout out to you and your dad, dog, on Father's Day. Well, that was a couple weeks ago. But anyways, yeah, we have like 3 weeks off. But next week I will be on location. I will be recording from a hotel room, unless I'm recording from the middle of the casino, because I will be in Vegas for Summer League. So, oh wait, no, not next week. Just kidding. The week after next. So fuck it. Next week I'll bring that up. But Seal, you spun your name around. What's your name there?
Lil Rusty.
Lil Rusty.
Lil Rusty, and it's definitely showed the last couple weeks. But no, everybody knows not everybody, but my dad's name was Rusty, and I'm his son, so I'm Little Rusty.
I told Courtney about it, and she thought it was a super cool name.
Yeah, it's dope as shit. And I haven't played basketball in a very long time, or any organized sport in a very, very, very long time. So I knew I was going to be a little rusty. So I made that my number. And of course, everybody knows 14 has just fucking followed me around forever. So it stuck with me. But no, dude, these jerseys are cool. Like, this is all stitched.
Yeah, well, it better be. It took you like 4 weeks to fucking get them.
Yeah, like it's actually, you're not going to be able to see it in the camera, but it's actually stitched. It's not ironed on. But
Nice.
They're cool as shit. And yeah, it was really cool. It was like I had a little moment whenever I grabbed it, and it was cool. So everybody was just like in this folded plastic kind of thing. You know, you pull it out, unfold the thing, pull it out. Mine was in a zipper.
Why?
Who fucking knows? But I guess I was just like, yeah, they know this thing's special. like the only one in everybody's, like all the teams.
That's funny.
And mine was in a little Ziploc, like a thicker bag, Ziploc baggie. It was cool as shit. It's like
Good shit.
mine was the last one and they ran out.
Right.
And, yeah, it was
Nice.
either way, it was cool as shit. It was different. It was awesome. And it's definitely nice because like all I really have of dad is a couple of pictures in his jacket. So, and I'm like far fuck away from the grave. So I don't really have anything. So to have this and have something, it's really nice. It's awesome. Hopefully one day soon I'll be able to play up to my potential and do good by his name. But it's really cool to have. It's nice.
Do you know what site you got them from, or they got them from?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
I want
I'll
to get
shoot it to
one,
you.
but it sucks because obviously we don't.
So I mean, for
use-
next season, if you guys really, because there's all kinds of options. It's $40 a piece, but
Mhm.
if you're gonna have them all season, it's really dope. But I would order them like 4 weeks before the season.
Yeah, clearly. All right, so we got anything else to shout out? Any person, any place, anything before we head out of here?
Yeah, shout out Freddie Freeman, dude. Firing his agent. We've been talking about it a lot here recently in sports, and I'm here for it. Player empowerment, not letting people run you, not letting people who make your decisions for you just take advantage of you. We've seen it far many times in the past. Players come out of how they got screwed on all this money, or even when they retire, their advisors fucking them over and all this stuff, and there's nothing they can really do about it. Well, Freddie Freeman said, "Fuck you, you're fired." We've already talked about it, so don't need to go too much in depth with it. But that it sucks. It's a shitty situation, but at the end of the day, it's your life to live. And hey, who knows? Maybe at the end of the year, we know the Dodgers are a good organization. They're good peoples. After finding this out, maybe they'll just let him go back. They might trade him back to the Braves after this.
I'll take Azuna or whatever they want to give me.
Acuna.
Well, no, they won't give us Acuna.
Oh, there's an Azuna?
Yeah, the DH.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool. But that's really, it's a shitty situation, but I can appreciate him firing him right on the spot, right upon hearing it, not even giving it any
Like
kind
at
of
the press conference, kind of like not even. It was like during the game, basically. He fires us.
Yeah. So I can definitely appreciate that, and that's kind of the way the world's turning, and that's kind of the mindset you have to have nowadays. You can't let shit linger on. You can't think about things. Think, damn, I wish this was different, man. I wish they wouldn't have done that. Fucking cut ties, make your decisions, get them done, and move on with life and cash in, because we only get one of these things. And for forever, at least in America, we've all just kind of went with the status quo and done what we were supposed to do and been like, well, that's life. Not these days. We're able to go out and keep our heads strong and worry about ourselves and do what we need to do. And that's a big difference between a stud and a scrub in our books. And yeah, be like Freddie Freeman, be a stud and not a scrub.